button. Good morning, live from New York, and also from Dyersburg, Tennessee. Did I say that properly, Jeff? Dyersburg,
Close enough. You got enough drag, and it's good.
Dyersburg, Dyersburg. Anyway, we're here, guys. This is a new infographic. What I have on the screen here, and I think it illustrates what we're dealing with here as human beings and as businessmen and businesswomen, right? As owner operators. That I call it above the line. I call it above the line and below the line. I'm going to mute you for just a second, Ron, because you're getting a lot of noise. Above the line and below the line, guys. Here's what this states. Above the line is your life. This is everything in your life above the line. Here's your business. Here's your fellow employees. Here's how we measure business up here: revenue, KPIs, P&L. Here's your community, right? Here's your family, your fitness, your health, all of it. Every result in life is above the line. What's below the line? Below the line is the foundation. This is the foundation of life down here. The foundation of every result, the source of every result in your life is language and communication. That's it. Period. End of story. There's nothing else. And that's why these arrows are pointing upward. Every result in your life is tied to down here. Most people never look down here. We do. And, and Jeff will tell you, and McClays will tell you also. Lester and Rick years ago when they met me, I said so. I started sharing this with them, and they said there's something to this. And now you guys out there, McClays, probably 6-7 years ago, I met them for the first time, and they became a commitment-based organization. Right, produced tremendous results for them over the years. But most business people look up here. They hyper focus on the information and the data and the KPIs. They don't look down here. Just don't look at all. And we do, because we know that the only time commerce happens, the only time you generate anything up in this quadrant here in terms of revenue and KPIs and everything, is when you exchange commitments with the customers. That's the only time it happens. It's all linguistic. You exchange commitments. You promise to put tires on their car at 2 o'clock, and they go, okay, that's a commitment exchange. I promise to put the tires at 2 o'clock. That's your commitment. They say, okay, I'm in on that. That's their commitment. Boom. Exchange of commitments. That produces cha-ching in the cash register. It's all language. It starts down here. Most business people don't know how to assess this. We do. I'll share with you real quickly. This is how we assess it over here. We have a wonderful tool we call Sales Max Plus. I just happened to be looking at this as the same day automotive statistics from August, right? And look at Lindsay. Lindsay has really taken this seriously. 29%. Now this is good. This is employee close. There's only two ways, guys, that revenue, commerce happens in your business. One is the customer calls you and says, hey, Lindsay, I want to come in buy a set of tires, or Ron, I want to come in and get an oil change today, or I want to come in and get my brakes done today. They make the commitment. That's this column. One way revenue happens is the customer makes the commitment. The other way is when the employee makes a commitment. And I had this selected out because this is fabulous. Lindsay, look at that, 29% of the time. That's fabulous, right? We got to work on this one for you, but this is the key move right here. You make the commitment to help them. I'm going to take care of you. Today's your lucky day, Mrs. Jones, right? I'm going to take care of you. That's the key move, right? We also got to work on this one as well. But the point is, there's only two ways that commerce is going to happen. That's the revenue is going to show up by you making a commitment to help them and they agree, or they make a commitment to come in and you agree. Boom, done. That's what it causes it. We know from experience that that's going to happen about 50 to 60% of the time. As it says right here, 50, 60% of the time, the customer calls up and is ready to they make a move right from the
Right.
get-go, right? That means 50% of the time they don't. That's why this number is so important. Now, this, you look at same day in August was 70% close rate, 20% employee close rate. This is huge. Most companies are nowhere near this. When we start with clients, they're at zero typically because they don't know the game is one of commitment. And I'm telling you, the game in life is one of commitment. You committing to do things. You standing up and staking a claim and saying, this is what I stand for in my life. This is who I am. This is how I'm going to take care of you if you're my customer, Lindsay. It's all about commitment. The whole thing, the world revolves around your commitment. That's why I talk about power. Personal power is your ability to articulate your commitment, to state it clearly for the customer. That's what's happening in this column. Now, what happened in August, that same day? In August, it's in same day automotive. August was the biggest month you ever had in the history of the company in 23
Yeah.
years. The
All the
biggest month
businesses.
ever because of this down here, because the employees were making moves, making power moves to take care of people. So now I want to shift over to the work. This is how we measure it. Oh, one other thing over here. This is where we also measure. The source of power is declaration, right? Declaring what you're going to do, and a time element. I can help you with that. That's what ICKY stands for. I can help you with that. And time, choice close, choice of 2 times. This is going to give you your very best results. This is going to give you your best results. Now, just so you know, and Ron, this is also for your edification, that I started this process with Danny Smith, the owner of Same Day, 2.5 years ago. In the first full year, they grew 22%. Last year, they grew 20% on top of the 22. And this year, they're going for another 20%. It's unheard of. 2020. Crazy. Crazy numbers. Because now they have their hands on the controls. Prior to this, and Danny will tell you, Jeff's business has grown dramatically in the last 3 years, right, Jeff?
That's right.
The prior to that, they didn't focus. They focused up here. They didn't focus on the language and the communication. Didn't happen. Now they do. Right now, how we teach is we use models. We use representation. We use practice. We practice the power moves. We practice the moves that are going to help us, with communicating more effectively. We know the only tool we have is our ability to communicate and our energy. That's it. There is nothing else. So this is your world. This is you, Ron, actually. This is a photograph of the Katati store. I have to unmute him. Is he unmuted? No, I'll unmute him here. Here we go.
I got it.
This is you right here.
Yeah, I was laughing.
This is Lester over here in the days when he worked on cars. That's
I've seen this picture before.
I know you have. But it's a good representation because the only way you're going to survive inside this cartoon world is if you have a clear model for effectiveness. Right? And so that's what we teach. We teach them models for effectiveness. And I use 3 models because it's challenging. Listen, you guys have a very challenging job. I don't want to minimize it. I mean, it's really challenging. The chaos is everywhere inside the business. It's like a martial arts movie. When you watch Tom Cruise is what was that movie, The Last Samurai, and he's in the middle of fighting and all this stuff, right? Or, I love these old the Jackie Chan movies or the Bruce Lee movies or the hero, Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme, all these, the heroes get in the middle of it, the chaos. But the hero knows the moves. The hero has the distinctions. And so they use their technique and their skill, and they dispatch the bad guys one at a time because they have all the moves. And so that's what we're teaching here. We're taking the world of communication that people just didn't know about. Like Danny would share with me, he came to me 2.5, 3 years ago. He said, look, I don't know the communication world. You do. You teach us, because I don't know how to do it. And Jeff, would you say that's fair thing?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can look at all the KPIs and go in there and say, hey Ron, fix that. But you can't. If you don't know how to train language, then since language is how it's all going to happen, that's how you're going to convert everything. Then it could be a roadblock for sure.
Yeah. You don't know how to do it. It's like, okay, we have a gig on Saturday, Jeff. I want you got to play piano on Saturday. Good luck with that. And there's going to be 10,000 people. No, and Jeff, uh-oh. But that's what happens in the industry. Listen, guys, here's what happens. Watch. Throughout the industry, not in your companies, throughout the industry, they don't focus on the communication piece because they don't know how to do it. So everybody shows up. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of employees in automotive repair and tire business showing up every day, and they have no idea what they're doing. The words just come out of their mouth. When I say no idea, they're skilled and knowledgeable about auto repair. That's not my point. They know auto repair. Keep in mind, I was a partner in a company. We had 1,000 employees in 104 stores. So I talk from experience about this. I'm not just making up these when I say make these claims. I've lived it. Believe me. I had 1,000 employees in my company. I was a partner, a part owner in it. Right? 1,000 employees. And everybody showed up and they wanted to do well. I'm not saying they're not good people. They want to do well. Everybody wants to do well. You got a family to feed. You want to grow and make money and have them thrive. But until you understand language and communication, it's very difficult. Very difficult. Let me ask this question, Ron. I haven't spoken with you in quite a while, right? When I say to you, let me ask this question. And while you're here on the planet, Ron, is it safe for me to say that you want to live a powerful life?
Absolutely.
You want to live a powerful life, right? And the same thing, Lindsay, I'm sure I've asked you that before, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So then here's the $64 million question, Ron, since I don't think I've ever asked you that question. Is that accurate?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Here's the $64 million question. You want to live a powerful life. Did anybody in your life up to this point, that means a teacher, a parent, a neighbor, a relative, a friend, a mentor, a coach, a rabbi, a priest, a minister, anybody. Did anybody ever come to you and say, Ron, in order for you to live a powerful life while you're here on the planet, we live here a short time, but in order for you to be powerful, this is exactly what you need to know. Right here, this is exactly what you need to know. Did anybody ever have that discussion with you?
No, not that I can think of.
Not with me either. I was lucky. It doesn't happen. Jeff, with you when you were growing up?
Nope. No, not at all.
Lindsay?
Absolutely not.
No. But that's what we all want. Well, and everything it implies. When you're powerful, you could do things, create things, make more money, have more prestige, have more power, get things done. It means everything that's associated with that. But nobody's taught that. When we go to school, we're taught how to read and write, not how to communicate. There's a difference. Everybody out there knows how to communicate, knows how to read and write. They know how to look up information and data and everything. And so in the old days, Danny Smith would tell you he was thrilled to grow 3, 4, 5%. Thrilled. If he grew 4%, it was a fabulous year. Now he's unhappy if he doesn't grow 20. What happened? We set standards. Same thing happened in McClay's years ago. Boom. When they put millions of dollars extra in their pocket at McClay's because of this work. Right, Ron? Am I right?
Absolutely.
True.
Danny
All right,
calls
now
us the chosen few.
say what?
So Danny calls us the chosen ones.
Oh, yeah, no, it's true. You listen. I was blessed to start studying this stuff. I'll tell you, because when I was growing up as a young man, I was all messed up. I had a great education, traditional education. My parents were great. My dad was a civil engineer. My mom was valedictorian in her high school class. Brilliant lady, right? They didn't know how to communicate. They were smart. My dad helped build the George Washington Bridge, the lower level, helped construct buildings in Manhattan, right? He was brilliant at that stuff, but he didn't know how to communicate. What's the rap on technician? I can't tell you how many technicians, engineers, similar, right? Over the years, since I've been doing this 20 years, I can't tell you how many technicians look me in the eye and say, Dan, I'd much rather work on cars than deal with people. It's easier. Do you ever hear that, Jeff?
I think it every day. Are you kidding?
Yeah. This is the heavy lifting. Say what? Say what, hon?
I said, "Clothes don't talk back."
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly. Do you ever hear that, Ron? Do you ever hear people say that? Oh God, much.
Every day
I don't know how you guys do it up front. I don't know how you do it.
with patience.
Well, that's a good point. That's a big part of it. But the key is having distinctions for communicating. And then listen, and you got to be open. If you're going to be a communicator, you got to be open to failure. You got to be open to things not working. You got to but you got to jump in and play the game. You know, that's part of the secret. So listen, I use 3 models. My goal is to teach distinctions. The more distinctions you have for what you're doing, the better choices you can make. So this is the first model. I call this the 3 layers of communication model. And what this says, I had this epiphany about 7, 8 years ago. One day I woke up, I went, holy mackerel. I had data. I've done more than 1 million assessments of 1 million business conversations. I had spreadsheets on all my computer screens, and I had data from the water industry and the propane industry and the glass industry, auto repair, tires, car dealerships, financial services. I'm analyzing all this data, and I went, holy mackerel. I could see at that instant 3 layers of communication taking place across all industry. Didn't matter what the company was or what the industry was. Common denominator across all of them. It blew my mind. And here's what I saw, guys. First thing I saw was automatic communication taking place. I could measure it and I could see it. And this makes perfect sense to me. The aha moment was, of course. Here's why it makes sense for automatic communication. Human beings are hardwired for survival. You're a machine. I'm a machine. Jeff's a machine. Lindsay's a machine. We're all machines. Heart rate, blood pressure, temperature control, waste elimination, nervous system, sight, smell, taste, hearing, all of it, full-blown automatic. You don't control any of it. Very little. You can stop breathing for a minute or 2, max. Right? 2 minutes, I think you'd be in trouble. Most of it's full-blown automatic. We're machines. And we're designed that way for survival purposes. You don't have to think. You don't sit here and go, hey, Jeff, I think I'm going to breathe now. It's not how it works. The machine is designed for survival, to keep you alive. That's what the machine is. Survival-based machine. Make sense, Ron?
Absolutely.
Much of communication is automatic. We don't think about that, but it's true, and it's tied to the same survival mechanism. I'm going to pause the screen. I'm going to ask you a question. I've done this with the other folks, Ron. I'm going to do this with you now. I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your head when I ask you this question. Okay? Ready, Ron?
Yep.
What color is a Ferrari?
Red.
I knew it. What food do you eat when you go to the movies?
Popcorn.
Boom. You don't think about it. Automatic. Who's the best baseball team in America?
San Francisco Giants.
It doesn't matter. It's the Yankees, Mets, Giants. Who's the best football team? Titans. Like it's automatic. We don't. None of those three answers were thought out. You didn't say, "Well, let me see because of the batting average," and you analyze it. No. Boom, Giants. It's the way it is. How much is an oil change, Ron?
$49.95.
How much is an alignment?
$129.95.
How much is a brake job for my Subaru?
A brake job for your Subaru after inspection or before inspection?
Well, there's your answer. I mean, there's your look. You're proving my point. That's your automatic reply, right? I'm not saying there's any. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being automatic or there's anything wrong with automatic communication. Here's the question that you need to answer yourself using a baseball analogy. Is your automatic communication giving you a 320 batting average, which is great in baseball terms? Or is it giving you a 150 batting average? That's the issue. Pete Rose was an automatic baseball playing machine, and he produced more base hits than anybody in the history of the game. I'm not talking about his personal life. I'm just talking about baseball. Baseball machine. So his automatic mode was 200 hits a year and a 300 batting average or more every year for a long career. Automatic. And much of what we say is full-blown automatic, as we just demonstrated, and it's about information and data. And this was the second part of my aha moment that day when I had all this information in front of me, the data, and I go, of course, it makes perfect sense that we're machines. Yes, it's true. We're machines for survival, and our communication is automatic. And what we talk about all day long is information and data. And why that's such an aha moment is because we were born into the information age, Ron. You're a part of it. You're trapped in the matrix, man. All of us are. We grew up in it. The onboarding process, when you get hired at McClay's, they spend a week going over how to look up prices and inventory and how to do estimates and how to do all the calculations and how to work the computer to get the POS info. Why? To process information and data so you can process more oil changes and brake jobs and alignments. Am I right, Ron, or wrong?
Absolutely.
That's the way it is. But listen, guys, here's what's interesting to me. Aha moment. It's that way in every business in America. Well, I got started in the information age at the age of 18 when I went off to college and I got my first programming programming class. Learned Fortran and basic programming in 1969, 1970 in Manhattan College in New York City, right? And the computers were huge back then. They didn't even have PCs weren't invented. But here's the point. So now it's 50 years until today. 50 years I've been immersed in the information age. Every year it's been getting a later, more up-to-date computer, faster computer, a Pentium this, I want 286, 386, 486, Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, and Windows 1, 2, 3, Windows 10, whatever it is, all for what? For processing information. Because it was a competitive advantage. It was a competitive advantage to have the latest and greatest and fastest information. Then the internet comes along in the 90s, in the mid 90s, late 90s. It starts to really pick up steam. That's 20 years ago, right? Now it's faster and faster, instantaneous. Now everybody has one of these. Everybody that has one of these has access to all the information that you have. You have all the information they have. Everybody has all the information they will ever need. We don't need more information. It's all here. It's a level playing field. I'm saying the information age is over. Now, I'm saying that with tongue in cheek in a particular way. It's not over. But here's when I say it's over. The only time revenue is generated is when we exchange commitments. We just talked about that. That's the only time revenue is ever generated in any company on the planet. Yet, every company on the planet right now is immersed in this loop. You got human beings who are machines on automatic mode distributing information all day long. And most of the people out there don't realize that commitment is the driver. Commitment, exchanging commitments is what produces all the revenue. Commitment produces all the results in your life. My claim is this: for you to live a powerful life, Ron, you have to learn to articulate your commitment. Whatever you're talking about. It could be commitment at home with your kids, commitment in the community with some project, commitment on the job. If you can't articulate your commitment to wherever you are in your life, if you can't articulate it, you can't be powerful. It's not possible. That's what I've learned doing this for actually studying this for 40 years and doing this work for you guys in the last 20 years. It's not possible for you to be powerful unless you master the ability to articulate your commitment. It's just not possible. Does that make sense, Ron?
Absolutely.
So did I ever share with you the caveman analogy, Ron?
You may have. I've done a lot of your sessions. I've done a lot of sessions with you since I started here.
I don't think I had the caveman analogy going back when I was working with you guys. It's something new.
All right.
Picture, Ron, picture you as a caveman 250,000 years ago, wandering around the hills of Sonoma County out there somewhere, all by yourself, hunting for food for your family, right? Can you picture that? You got that picture in your head?
Yeah.
Okay. Just you and a spear. You're in survival mode. You have to eat. So you're scavenging for food, and all of a sudden you go around a clump of trees. You're confronted by a 1,000-pound, fully grown male saber-toothed tiger who's hunting for food for his family. It's a bad day for Ron Jensen. It's a bad day for you, Ron. The saber-tooth, you can't defeat the one guy. I don't care if you have a spear or not. The one guy is not going to beat the saber-toothed tiger.
I guess it all depends on how hungry you are.
Yeah. Depends on how hungry he is. Depends on how hungry he is.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a bad day. Game over for Ron. He drags you back to his cave. Sorry. That's not how the story ends, though, because what happens with people, again, we go back to this model that I'm saying here, that we are survival-oriented human beings. We don't hunt alone. We never hunt alone. We know it's dangerous. It doesn't work. We don't do it. Built into our DNA is to form hunting parties. And you get Lindsay and me and Jeff, and you get 6, 7 other guys. We go out 10 strong. We share commitments the day before, and we say, look, guys, sun up. We're going to go hunting together. Bring your spear. We go out on a hunting trip, and all of a sudden we corner a 1,000-pound grizzly bear. And with 10 of us and spears, we worked together. We collaborated. We exchanged commitments. We kill the beast. We go home with fur coats and meat for the whole village. That's how we. Pardon?
I said that's a good combination.
There you go. Right. Exactly. That's how it works. It's the exchange of commitments. Listen, your family is a hunting party. Held together. Why do we have families? For survival. You look back on the analogy, you realize you can't live without your hunting party. It's not possible. You need to be a part of a hunting party. You can't live alone these days. That's the big booby prize here. Everybody thinks they can live alone because they have this and they have Uber and they have Amazon, and everybody thinks they can live alone. You can't. We have a biological need for close, intimate relationships. Why? For survival. Biological need. And this digital age, I'm certain about this. I've measured it. The digital age has retarded our ability to make commitments, to live in the commitment age. People are not taught this stuff. So they show up on the job and they're clueless. They think the game is distributing information. It's not. Listen, the customer, here's the customer, right? The customer has a problem with their brakes, a problem with a check engine light, and they call you on the phone. And they've never done business with McClay's or with Same Day before. What's their real issue? If they have a check engine light and they got a problem with their brakes, what's their real issue, Ron? And they ask for price. They call up, by the way, let me say, they call up and they ask you for a price. But what is the real issue?
So they have a check engine light and they need brakes and they call up for a price, but what's the real issue?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, I guess.
Sure
Well,
you do.
what comes up? Yeah, you do. You're an automatic machine. You have an answer.
Oh, I can help you with that.
That's good. That's good. He's a smart rat. This guy. He's good. He's good. That's good. No, listen, here's the real issue. They're just like you. They're in survival mode. If they don't have a car out there in Sonoma County, are they going to be able to survive?
No.
Their very survival is at stake because their car's not working. The real issue, therefore, can't be price. It's never price. The only reason people contact any of you is because their survival's at stake. They can't take the kids to the doctor. They can't pick up groceries. They can't get to work. They can't go on vacation. They can't go visit grandma. They can't do anything. That's the real issue. It's never price. It can't be price. That's the thing I've gotten so clear about. I've had debates with people. I tell them that. They say, no, it can be price. I say, no, it can't be.
It can be the money. It can be the money, but the money, we got a solution. So
it can be the money. The money can get in the way, but my point is that price is important, but it's never the main issue. The main issue is they can't live their life. They need help. Now, if I know you, Ron, I've been coming to McClay's for 8 years, and I call you and say, hey, Ron, this is Dan. Listen, I'm alone out in the savannah here. My car's broken down, and I can't go hunting. Can you help me out? And you go, yes, because I'm already a part of your hunting party. We're connected. It's a non-issue. I don't even question price with you. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the other people, the new people, they're not going to call you up. Brand new customers are not going to call up and say, hey, Ron, listen, I'm alone in the savannah. I'm by myself. I'm broken down, and I'm in fear. I'm in fear of my survival. I'm surrounded by grizzly bears. And by the way, here's my Platinum Amex. Do whatever you want with it. Just get me out of this mess. They don't talk like that. But here's what I can safely tell you. When you learn to express your commitment to help them in a very powerful way, the price conversation goes away because it was never, most of the time, it was never ever the real issue to begin with. What they're listening for is can this guy help me? Is he going to take care of me? And that doesn't happen in price. If you give a price, Ron, and be honest with me here. If you dump a price, what happens a lot of the times?
Well, if it has to do with money and somebody's shopping you, of course they're always going to want the best price. I try not to drop a price. I try to get them in the store first.
Okay, well, you've been trained and you've been a part of a culture like this, but I'm just saying, in most situations, if you just give a price, they say, thank you. I'll get back to you. Bye. Click,
Absolutely.
and they move on. We've all experienced that. It's because it's not the real issue. That's what this work is about. And I use this model. You should have this workbook out, print this page out, keep it on your counter, because during the day, you're going to go into automatic mode about price and information. I want you to see that and be able to shift gears and get up into the commitment layer, where you can say to them, look, I'm price shoppers are really great people. I love price shoppers. They become my best customers, a lot of them. And the reason for that is because, A, I'm not going to get beat on price. I have great prices. But more importantly, my job is to become your car guy. I want you to know that whenever your car breaks down, I want you to look at this beautiful face and think of me, because I'm here for you. I'm going to take care of you no matter what. That's my job, is to be your car guy, your pit crew. You ever break down, call me, I'll help you. I'll take care of you. Boom. And you express your commitment to help them. Now you can talk about price. But you've got to get the first move out. Thoughts, Ron?
Hey, Dan, how can I print this out?
Go to the, all right, here. Go to the workbook over here. You go to molloysales.com, right? molloysales.com.
Yeah.
Go to Power Sales Training right here.
Yeah.
And go to the first link here. It says weekly schedule and registration.
Yeah.
And then scroll down a little bit. Here's the workbook. You just click here and download it.
All right, perfect.
All right? Yeah. What time is it?
I seen that earlier.
Yeah, guys, this is all we're going to do today. All right. I'll just, let me just, a couple of more things. This is one model, really important. I want to leave you with this one thought. You're all, I can help you with that oriented. And that's why on page 6, in the work, page 6 on the workbook, box 1, right? Thanks for calling McClay's. This is Ron. How can I help you? First move out of the gate. I can help you with that. In fact, I can help you today. Boom! You deliver that with passion. With passion, and it lightens their load instantly, because that's all they were looking for. The caveman analogy proves that. That's all they're looking for, is your help and a good price. So I'm not saying price isn't important, but it's secondary. So the first thing here, and what Jeff says all the time, is we want to handle in box 1. We want to handle the time issue, right? I can help you with that, and we can do it today. That handles time, right? And right down below here, we also have payment plans, Ron, starting at $40 with or without credit. So I got you covered on it. Get it done today, and we got money for you if you need it. Boom. Time and money we handle. Jeff, anything to share?
No, these they're doing good with taps and everything. It's starting to feel better for them, I think. So glad to see them taking it and running with it, and just getting the time and money in box 1 will help even more, Ron. So you guys do a good job as it is, and I know you still may be selective about when you offer the payment plans, but if you can get it in there without solicitation, is the best way.
Yeah, just declare it. That's what next class we're going to focus on, this model right here. We're going to focus on this model, Foundation for Results model, and the 6 moves in the dance of language, right? Fundamentals. We're going to work on this. That's on not this week, next week. All right. On Thursday,
Yes.
we're going to do more advanced stuff, but I'm going to cover this same introduction.
We'll do more practice on Thursdays, Ron.
Yeah.
For you guys. So
Yes.
Got it.
But at the 11:45 class, all I'm saying is that the 11:45 class is for more recent hires, more recent employees. That's what it is. So we talk theory, education, distinctions. Cool. Any feedback, Ron?
No, I'm good. I'll see you guys on Thursday, possibly. If not me, it'll be Ozzy.
All right, buddy. Be good. Thank you. Lindsay,
Sounds
thank
good.
you. Jeff,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you. Be
See
good,
you.
guys.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye now.